Most people imagine ancient humans as constantly fighting for survival, hunting dangerous animals, running from predators, struggling to find food in a harsh, unforgiving world. And while all of that happened, it was not the whole picture. Not even close. The daily life of your ancestors was far stranger, far more social, and far more human than you probably think. Let us start with how they spent their time. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer societies, which are the closest living window we have into ancient human life, reveal something surprising. The average hunter-gatherer works somewhere between 3 and 5 hours a day to meet all of their basic survival needs. 3 to 5 hours. The rest of the day is spent in ways that look remarkably familiar. Talking, playing, resting, telling stories, sitting around fires doing what humans have always done best, which is connect with each other. Your ancestors were not relentlessly busy. They had leisure time, and they used it. They laughed. A lot. Humor appears to be one of the oldest and most universal human behaviors. Anthropologists studying isolated communities that have had minimal contact with the outside world consistently find the same thing. People telling jokes, teasing each other, playing pranks, making each other laugh. The capacity for humor is so deeply wired into human social behavior that it almost certainly predates language itself. They danced. Evidence of rhythmic movement and percussion instruments goes back tens of thousands of years. Dancing was not entertainment in the modern sense. It was one of the primary ways ancient humans built social bonds, marked important events, entered altered states of consciousness, and communicated with whatever they believed existed beyond the visible world. A group of humans moving together in rhythm is a group of humans becoming something more cohesive than they were before. They gossiped. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has argued that gossip, which is the sharing of social information about other members of the group, served the same function in humans that grooming serves in other primates. It maintained social bonds. It kept the group informed about who could be trusted and who could not. It was not idle chatter. It was social infrastructure. Your ancestors spent significant portions of every day talking about other people, and that was not a waste of time. It was how the group stayed together. They took care of each other. Archaeological evidence consistently shows that ancient humans supported injured and sick members of their groups for extended periods. We have found ancient skeletons with healed injuries that would have required months of care and assistance to survive. People who could not have fed themselves. People who would have died without the deliberate, sustained effort of others around them. Compassion is not a modern invention. It is one of the oldest things about us. They decorated themselves. Beads made from shells and animal teeth. Ochre used to paint skin and objects. Feathers. Flowers. Ancient humans adorned themselves and their belongings with remarkable consistency across cultures and continents. The desire to be seen. To express something about who you are through what you wear and how you look. This is not vanity. It is identity. And it goes back at least 100,000 years. They sat with the dying and buried their dead. The deliberate burial of the dead with grave goods and flowers and ceremony appears in the human record far earlier than most people realize. Ancient humans did not simply leave their dead behind. They gathered. They marked the moment. They placed meaningful objects with people they had lost. This suggests not just grief which animals feel, but something more specific. A sense that the moment of death deserved acknowledgement. That the person who had lived deserved to be sent off with intention. They looked up at the sky. We know that ancient humans tracked the movements of stars and planets and the cycles of the moon with extraordinary precision. Not because they needed to for survival, but because something in the human mind finds the sky endlessly compelling. The same curiosity that drives modern astronomy was present in people who lived tens of thousands of years ago. They watched. They noticed patterns. They built meaning around what they observed. They told stories. This may be the most important thing your ancestors did every single day. Before writing, before civilization, before almost everything we associate with being human, there were stories. Stories about where the group came from, about what happened to people who broke the rules, about the nature of the world and the forces that shaped it, about what happens after death. Storytelling is not something humans invented. It is something humans are. Every culture ever discovered has stories. Every child ever born reaches for them naturally. The narrative mind is not a product of civilization. It is what made civilization possible. Your ancestors were not primitive versions of you struggling toward the modern world. They were fully realized human beings living with the same emotional complexity, the same social needs, the same capacity for joy and grief and wonder that you carry right now. The tools were different. The world was different. But the person holding the tools and moving through the world was remarkably the same. And if you find yourself curious about why humans are the way they are, why we feel what we feel and want what we want and fear what we fear, the answers are not in the present. They are in the long story of what your ancestors were doing around fires and under stars long before any of this existed. That is exactly what this channel explores. Every video goes deeper into the ancient science hiding inside your everyday life. The behaviors you cannot explain. The feelings that seem to come from nowhere. The questions that sit at the edge of what we know. If any of that pulls at your curiosity the way it pulls at mine, then you are exactly where you are supposed to be.